morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time it is by the time you watch this, or hopefully you watch it or see it. So I wanted to talk with you guys for a few minutes about several things. Well, first of all, what's kind of prompted this video was we've had a lot of graduates in the last few months. As you know, we've had an influx of dogs in need of help, clients in need of help due to COVID. We've been seeing a lot of behavioral issues, a lot of struggles with dogs and their humans with regards to COVID. So we've this has been going on for a long time, as far as frustrations and poor communication between dogs and humans. And what prompted me, I'm going to sound like I'm rattling, but I'm going to do my best. So many thoughts going through my head. With all the new graduates we've had, as you guys know, so much of what we do involves training the humans. Okay, so we're a firm believer that you can train the dog, but if the human isn't trained, then you have a poor line of communication between the two. So, which in turn causes frustration. It causes the human frustration, and then it causes your dog to be frustrated, right? So when, just like any human relationship, if we have poor communication and we're frustrated with each other, it's just not good. So so there's that. So we kind of just want to educate people on just that. So when your dog graduates boot camp, there's a lot of things that happen, okay? So there is no magic wand. We just don't hand you the dog and the leash and it's all roses, okay? If you don't know how to properly communicate with your dog doesn't understand you, okay? It's just that simple. So whether it's, you don't know how to use the leash, you don't know how to use the clicker, you don't know how to use the remote collar, you don't know how to use the slip lead, and your dog's like, I don't understand what you're asking me, so I'm gonna get frustrated. So what the humans are forgetting is when our dogs are frustrated, we act out, they act out in ways that almost appear that they're not trained or what have you, or they seem spastic or unruly. Well, that's a form of frustration. That's when your dog is frustrated because they don't understand what you're doing, what you're asking. So that's what we're here for, to help you learn when your dogs graduate. It is a process. So a couple things I'm going to point out. So practicing, guys, whether you're practicing a clicker, whether you're practicing your remote collar, whether you're practicing these awesome slip leads that your dogs graduate on, whether you're practicing learning how to properly project a certain type of energy on your dog, practicing makes you better because it changes you, right? So let's start there. Another thing is, you can't improve your social skills by visualizing them in your head, okay? So if you struggle with social skills with people, just sitting on your couch and thinking about how you're gonna communicate to that person in a certain way, you can't perfect your social skills by visualizing in your head. You need to practice those social skills. So there's that. So guys, with regards to your tools, and how come my dog's still pulling, and how come maybe they won't hold place for you, maybe your communication is just not quite yet where it needs to be, and your dog is taking advantage of you. So there's a lot of dogs like that. There's a lot of dogs that just get frustrated because they're like, I have no idea what you're asking me to do. So no matter what your talent is, your hobby or your dream, anything that you want to get good at, you need to practice. So if you're hopeful that your dog is going to walk politely on a leash, maybe you're not there yet. maybe you need to practice. So maybe it's something in your head that you're not quite able to communicate to your dog in a way that they understand. There's a lot that goes into dog training. There's a lot that goes into the human and dog interaction for things to flow. So it's just like any human relationship, whether your working relationship, your spouse, mate, boyfriend, whatever. If you don't have the skill set to properly communicate in those life scenarios with people, you typically don't have a great relationship, right? So in order to have a great relationship with your dog where you're not frustrated, where your dog isn't frustrated, you have to work at it. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether we do a board and train for 2 months, 2 weeks, 6 months. You still have to practice on you. Okay, so we're here to help you understand that. That's why so much of our board and train programs involve a lot of follow-up. That's why, there's no training company in the Valley giving lifetime Saturday classes. What those classes are for is trying to help you become better at communication, dog psychology, learning to understand your dog better, practicing skill set, practicing working under pressure, practicing working in high intensity environments, practicing learning how to handle a dog that's off leash approaching you in a neighborhood. We're trying to help you guys with all this follow-up stuff that comes with your package. We're trying to help you guys become better at learning how to communicate with your dog. Okay, it doesn't happen instantly. In any situation where you're trying to get better at something, you have to practice it. Okay, if you're learning a new musical instrument, you have to practice to get really good at it. Okay, if you want to practice and get stronger at lifting weights, you have to practice, you have to work at it. Anything that you guys if you want to learn, you have to practice getting better at it. So I just can't, it's just been a very stressful, a little bit frustrating week, and just a lot of thoughts in my head that I wanted to put out there, just to give you all something to think about. Maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. In the end, it just, at least I'm putting it out there to help you guys. Oh, hi. I'm just finishing my video. Okay. So anyway, with goals, with your training goals, absolutely have goals, and then be realistic with your goals. And then here's one of the top is Jose always says, if you guys are working your dogs, film your dogs or film yourself. So set up a camera and film yourself and take a good look at what you're doing. Maybe you can learn from just watching yourself. So there's that. Maybe don't worry so much about filming your dog. Film yourself. And how are you interacting with your dog? Are you interacting with your dog in a way that they understand, or are you frustrating them? So remember, if you guys, again, you got to practice the communication, practice the tools. Otherwise, if I just can't reiterate enough, that creates an element of frustration on your dog. And then of course you're frustrated, and then the communication is just not there, and then you're just not going to see results. That's it. All right, so super long video. Hopefully that helps and gives you something to think about. All right, see ya. Bye.